Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Ready from Ready's Rise. We're back here at Loki Kia, and guess what? I have that redesign of their compact car. What is it? Is this car right here. This is a 2025 Kia K4 GT line. But before we get into this new interpretation and an all-new name, the K4, let's talk about what's going on here. Compact cars. There's not a whole lot to choose from. Of course, Honda, the Civic, Toyota, the Corolla. Sister brand to this Kia would be Hyundai with the Elantra. And then, of course, we can't forget Nissan with the Sentra and Mazda with the Mazda 3. May sound like a lot of choices, but if you go back 10 years ago, there were a lot more to choose from. But Kia has decided to not only redesign for 2025, but also come out with a new name, that letter with a number. Just like the Optima became the K5, now we have the K4. Very interesting design. Also interesting how there's two engine options, but there's no actual K4 GT. But what I want to find out is, can a car like this compete against the mighty Toyota Corolla? Let's go ahead. Let's dive into this one and see if we can find out. Right off the bat, great color. It's called steel gray, and it really has a nice blending of silver and gray. Really shows the body lines. Now, on the front of the business, you'll see that very unique style, very modern headlight style. Vertical LED headlights, LED turn signals, and our daytime running lamp. The thing I'm still trying to figure out is, what is this? This fake vent looking thing is just, I don't know. It sticks out like a sore thumb. And what usually happens? The nail that sticks out gets hammered down. So I'm gonna have to zonk that. Would have been nice to have some fog lamps, anything other than this. A little bit of gloss black on the corner does go nicely with the steel gray. Now, as we come across that new interpretation of the Tiger Nose grille, we have a little bit of aluminum style finish across the brow, the gloss black with the Tiger Nose shape to it, and then working our way down, more gloss black, but functionality on the lower grille area. You do have this titanium lip, gives it the style. It's also there for aerodynamics as well. But let me know what you think about the face of this K4, especially compared to the, some would say is aging Toyota Corolla. What look do you like better? Let me know in the comment section. Now, as we rise up, that slight bend of the hood meets the Tiger Nose grille. We've got our Kia badge, and then just very simple, clean body lines, just flows right into the A-pillars. Now, as we come around the bend, what are we working with? Wheel and tire setup. So what you're gonna notice on this GT line, machined aluminum, gloss black accents. Is an 18-inch wheel. Tires are gonna be 235 on the width, 40 series sidewall. And one of the things that really just bothers me, I don't like the gloss black around the fender openings. I don't like it when it's on a SUV. I definitely don't like it when it's on a sedan. So I am gonna zonk that. Should be all body color. But the wheel style does fit the attitude of this K4. Now, as we come down the side, you'll notice how that aluminum looking trim extends into the base for the support for our side mirror. Gloss black, LED turn signals. From the side, you'll also notice how this is getting bigger. These compact sedans are getting a little bit bigger. It's a little bit longer than a Toyota Corolla. Up top, you got an oversized sunroof. They paint the front, they don't paint the back. And that's another thing that just bothers me. So I am gonna have to zonk that. Let me know in the comment section if you like the way they hide the door handle. I guess that's to clean up the body lines. This car in hatchback form, which is coming at the end of the year, looks way better than the coupe, the sedan. And I'll show you why. What in God's world is going on here with the way they just kind of, just straight line cut it down. The hatchback will extend back and this will actually look different. Don't love it on the sedan. I'm just being honest. Working our way towards the rear, it looks like a Sportback, you know, hatchback style. Don't let it fool you. It's not. This is an actual trunk separate from the glass. Taillights, just like headlights, looking good. Love the way it's got the lighting all blended in nicely. They even hide the button for your trunk in the trim. You got your Kia badge. Some people still think this says KA. And they're like, what brand is KA or KN? Working our way down, the K4 badge, and then a very, very unique styled rear diffuser with your LED taillights. And of course, we can't forget the GT line badge. Gotta have that. That's worth an extra 100 horsepower easy. Maybe on a humid day, like today, a humid day, 50 horsepower, but on a cool day, make it 100 horsepower. But why don't we go ahead? We showed you the outside. Let's pop the hood and talk about horsepower in this K4. All right, guys, got the hood popped. You do have a prop rod. Now, the stupid thing, and I'm gonna just call it what it is. I'm the type of person, if it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's a duck. And this is stupid. GT line, you could get with 2 different engines. Why? GT should have the turbo, and the non-turbo is the GT line. But both of them are GT lines, so which one do we have? It's the non-turbo. So it's a naturally aspirated 2-liter inline 4. How much horsepower? You have a total of 147 horsepower. It is mated to a CVT. If you go turbo, then you're going to get more horsepower and an 8-speed automatic. The vehicle is front-wheel drive. It weighs 2,956 pounds. MPGs is where you're really going to come out the winner. 30 in the city, 40 on the highway. 0 to 60 though, don't expect to beat anybody. 0 to 60 in about almost 9 seconds and a top speed of around 110 miles an hour. So obviously turbo's the way to go, but I just wish they would have just called it a K4 GT. And this, the K4 GT line. But let's put all that aside, let's fire it up and see it roll. All right, guys, we are inside this 2025 Kia K4 GT line. I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, I'm glad that they still have brands that make sedans, compact sedans. I need one, and I don't want something boring. I want something that's modern. I'm liking the K4. How much is it? This particular one, the way that it's spec'd, has an MSRP of $27,000. Let's see what you get when you go K4. To the door panels. Simple, clean design, all black material, soft touch up top. You do have 3 stages of heated seats and that bright silver door handle to pop the door open. Then I like the way they brought some of that off-white. Really kind of brightens things up. And then the door pocket is decent. You could get yourself, I would say, 2 Renfest turkey legs in there and a bottle of Mountain Dew to wash it down. Now going from the door panel to the dash, loving the way they did this trim. You don't have to just do flat black or gloss black. And then this painted dark gray really matches nicely with our exterior color. Slide on in, you got uninterrupted screen. 12.3-inch infotainment system screen. You actually have your screen display here to adjust your AC if you want to. And then you got your digital gauge cluster, real deal volume knob, and then all your usual apps and functions that you would find on any other Kia. Throw it into reverse. Backup camera, look at the resolution on that. Way better than what you get in a Toyota Corolla. Guaranteed, and you could take that to the bank. Dual climate control, easy to work. Down below you got 2 USB-Cs, a 12 volt, and wireless charging. This is going to control our CVT. Your start stop button is right there. I actually shut the engine off. I'm turning it back. Well, I can't turn it on when it's in drive. There he goes. I like the way they did the 2-tone. 2 large cup holders, and if you can't see where the cup holder is, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. Kia key fob, just fine. And it's semi-soft on the armrest. You lift it up, and you could put in there, I would say, 3 Game Boys if you stack them up, and some Game Boy cartridges. Because what fun is a Game Boy if you don't have any games? Kind of sucks. Seats, soft touch, GT line embossed. I love the piping. This is weird. This cloth is weird. I feel like somebody opened a bottle of spray paint or something, and it just got all over the place. But you have manual controls for the passenger. I have electric assist, and then you do have a power sunshade and a sunroof, which is nice. But why don't you get your booty over here? I want to show you behind the two-tone wheel in this GT line. All right, guys, business time behind the wheel. Like I said, you do have your seat controls, easy to get to, especially the lower lumbar. 3 stages of heated seats, just like the passenger side. I'm 6 feet tall, and I'm actually lowering the seat. I mean, look how low this goes. Steven had this thing like in high chair mode. But anyways, plenty of headroom. Steering wheel, the two-tone actually looks really good, especially with the stitching. And if you notice, they did white stitching for up top and black stitching for down below. You got your drive modes. You just tap, 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 tap-a-roo. You do have your off-white horn button. Flat black on all the switch gear. Manual steering controls for your tilting and telescoping wheel. And then you have that 12.3-inch digital gauge cluster, normal and sport. That's all you get. Keep it simple. We're going to go sport mode, and that's that. But why don't we go ahead, let's get into the back seat and see if you can get some giggles and have some giggles just like up here in the front seat. Let's check out the back. All right, guys, back seat time, and guess what? You didn't think I was going to say this, but the K4 kicks the booty, the behind, the rear end of the Corolla with more room back here. It's just that simple. Same great materials. No pocket behind the driver's seat, but you can hang your high school Letterman jacket. No AC vents. That's a zonk. But you do get 2 USB-Cs and a place where you could insert 2 Twinkies, as long as you're careful inserting your Twinkie, because you don't want to rip a Twinkie open. That's a problem. I have my own cargo net here, but guess what? My Ginsu knife collection is going to rip right through that, so not my favorite. But you do get an armrest, and it is soft, and you do have 2 cup holders. Well, why don't we go ahead? Let's get into the trunk, because I want to go for a drive in this K4. All right, guys, time to get in the trunk. We're going to hit the button. Almost rises by itself. You're going to be greeted to about 15 cubic feet of space. Seats do the 60-40 split. You pull the nice handles here. And then guess what? Lucky us. The K4 GT line does come with a spare tire, which is great. But why don't we go ahead? Let's fire this back up and take it for a spin and see how the K4 drives. All right, guys, we are behind the wheel of this 2025 Kia K4 GT line, and right away, the interior, it's hands down better than the Corolla. I mean, it just looks fantastic in here. It feels like you're in a more expensive vehicle, especially when you see things like this two-tone steering wheel. But getting to the 12.3-inch, well within reach. You could use the screen to adjust your AC, or you could use the physical buttons, which is great. And the digital gauge cluster is so easy to read at a quick glance. Visibility out the front is wonderful. They worked a lot on making the chassis more rigid, and it really shows because it's quiet in here. There's no squeaks or rattles, and you're not getting any wind noise, which is nice. The CVT, of course, is not my favorite transmission, but you can't argue with 30 mpgs in the city and 40 on the highway. I do have it in sport mode. There's only 2 modes, and it just displays their sport on the dash for you. But a very interesting take on the compact sedan, especially with the extra room that we're getting inside and the technology. But let's go on throttle. You ready? On throttle. So you got your simulated shifts. That's going to keep that engine drone down. Not the fastest, but that's really not what this vehicle is about, right? I mean, the GT line non-turbo, you're maximizing MPGs. That's what you're really maximizing, and you're going to get that with this vehicle. But like I said, the sound deadening material, the rigidity of the chassis, everything feels really good when you're behind the wheel. You have more space in the back seat, for your passengers. Plus you got tons of connectivity and even wireless charging. So they got you covered with all the goodies that you want on a modern car interior. And a sunroof with a power shade. Brakes feel good. Of course, depending on what mode you're in, is gonna adjust the sensitivity of the steering and the throttle sensitivity. And we're gonna go on throttle again after we make this U-turn, real simple. On throttle, here we go. You do have paddles to go up and down the simulated gears if you wanted to do that manually. And just overall, a better balanced car than the Forte. That's what it comes down to. But I'm really looking forward to when the hatchback finally arrives at dealerships, because I really feel like that's the better looking of the two, and obviously even more versatile. But I'm hoping that this has been a good, quick overall review of this K4 GT line. We're gonna get back to Loki Kia and wrap this one up, so I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys, like always, another great day. Even though it's not a super sunny day, another great day here at Loki Kia. Definitely gotta thank Robert and the rest of the crew getting us access to this K4 GT line with the naturally aspirated four-banger. Let me know what you think. Compared to a Corolla, what are your thoughts on this? Are you going with the more modern style of the K4 with some of the better tech on the inside, or are you going with the tried and true Corolla? Let me know in the comment section. But if you're new to the channel, you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raised Reds family. Gotta get up to Stephen Flood. He just makes it all come together in the end. He is the man. So thank you, Stephen, for all that you do. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.